everyone. Thank you for joining me tonight for the Spring Clean Your Mind workshop. If you don't already know me, my name's Beth, also known as the Live Happy Coach. And tonight is a real chance to just take a breather, take a moment. If you grab your journal, if you want to be like making some notes, Sarah's got hers, maybe some paper, we're going to be doing some activities, so make sure you grab something to scribble on. Before I start as well, hi Claire, I just want to start with an apology actually, like I'm using butter for the first time tonight, and it did send out an email and it showed everyone else's email address, so I do apologise for that. I wanted to say that at the top and just get that little bit out of the way, that bit of admin. I was very annoyed about it, but we move. Right, I am going to share my slides. Here we go. So, my workshop reminders, these always come at the top of every workshop. So just remembering to treat people with kindness and respect, including yourself. So when we're talking about things tonight, a lot might come up for you about kind of feeling busy and things are maybe feeling like they're on top of you, but we're not here to berate ourselves for that. We're just here to work through what we're working through. Keep a notebook or journal handy, you're going to need that. Remember, this is being recorded, so whatever you say on the chat or anything, that will forever exist digitally. I'd love to see your smiley faces. I can see those tonight, but cameras are always optional, so don't worry. Claire, yes, your connection is a bit dodgy, but I can still see you, so don't worry. But if you want your camera off to help your connection, don't worry. And feel free to jump in with questions, either unmute yourself or use the chat, just like Claire has. It's on the left hand side. If you've not used butter before, all the kind of features are on the left. Right, so in this workshop we'll explore techniques to clear your thoughts. We're going to practice some emptying of our minds and hopefully leave with tips to try out to get into a calm space. But first, if you've come to any of my workshops, you will know that I always read from this book, Shine From Within by Nikki Banis. It is a collection of letters and it is just a beautiful book. It's one of those that you can pick up at any point and something might speak to you. And I always like to start a workshop with one. So this one is called Care. If you've got the book, it's page 48. So care. You've got to take care of yourself, and not just once in a while or only when you realise how desperately you need it, but every single day. Truly taking care of yourself means nourishing your mind, body and spirit in a way that works for you. It means finding a balance within your everyday life that allows you to do the things you love. Taking care of yourself means finding peace amidst the busy days. It means nourishing yourself from within to be able to take on the world out there. So I love this book, and like I say, there'll always be something that speaks to you, and I thought that was bang on for what we're speaking about tonight. So a quick one first to start with. I want you to ask yourself what's getting in the way of you having a clear mind. So that might be something that you're going through at the moment, or it might be something generally that you feel quite a lot of the time. Jot your answers down, and I just want you to be really honest with yourself. Like, how are you feeling right now about it? What's getting in the way, and how does that make you feel? I think that's a good place to just start, check in with ourselves. Where are we at with that? So I'll give you a couple of moments for that. So hopefully you've had some time to just have a little think about that. And if you need more time, you can come back to it. But yeah, I think it's always good to just check in with ourselves before we kind of start anything, start journaling or kind of what we're going to explore tonight. It's always good to just check in with yourself. Where are you at, and kind of what is your kind of stumbling block at the moment, and we'll see whether, you know, anything might come up tonight. Oh, we've lost my audio. Oh, maybe it was because I had my music on. Can you hear me now? Can you hear me now? Oh, Claire can. Okay. Hopefully you can hear me, Sarah. I was just saying it's a good chance to kind of check in with yourself, where you're at, what's getting in the way, and hopefully during this time together we might kind of find something that helps you unclog whatever that is. So first exercise we're going to try is just a mind dump, a brain dump. And this is our first go, so I want you to literally just dump it. That's what we're doing. We're just making a big list. So anything that is in your mind, that's been on your mind, whatever it is, I want you to just write it all down and let it all out. And then we're going to come back to our lists. So yeah, I'll give you a couple of minutes for that. I'll pop my music back on. So I write really fast, so I'm always like, I never know how long to give people. But oh, my music, I don't want you. When I turn that down, can you still hear me? I know, Sarah, you said you couldn't hear me before, but hopefully you can. Yeah, so if you just start wrapping up your mind dump exercise, what we're gonna do next, and I don't know about you guys, but when I do that, I love getting everything out onto the paper, and I'm always quite surprised actually with how much comes up. You know, were you surprised with the things on there that you were like, oh, didn't know you were hanging around in my brain somewhere deep down? I always find that yeah, something will come out and be like, oh, okay, you're new. Right, so we've got our list. We've cathartically kind of emptied our brain, and so now we're going to go back through the list and think about things of what do we need to bin, as in what do we need to just not even think about. Like, there could have been loads of stuff that came out for you that was like, I don't need to be worrying about that. When you really think about it, I think when you give yourself time to do like a brain dump like that, like I say, a bit of anything can come up. And yeah, I think when we fully go through it, it's like, nah, I don't need to worry about that. Or what do you need to recycle? So what do you actually need to do something about? What needs to then come onto a nice fresh to-do list that you can do afterwards? But yeah, so this is the exercise of going through and what are we binning, what are we recycling, what do we need to deal with, what can we let go of. So you can do that however you want. You could cross the things off. I've seen it before when people like draw bins. That's quite cute. Like if you're feeling creative and want to draw two little bins and kind of have what you're going to keep and chuck away your stuff that you want to bin. You could rip out the page, whatever feels good for you. But this is just about, yeah, giving yourself the permission really to get rid of some stuff that's on there you don't need. And so yeah, just a couple of minutes for this one. sure about anyone else, but there's a lot of things for me that I'm not crossing off or binning. And yeah, I just wanted to say that that's okay too. I don't know, sometimes it can feel overwhelming, can't it, to kind of see a whole list of things out and then be like, oh, I can't actually bin any of this. But sometimes it just feels cathartic to kind of just, like I said before, just get it out of our brains and have it somewhere. And you can always see this kind of piece of paper or sheet, whatever you've got, as kind of here's a to-do list, but you can be kind to yourself and come to it when you need it. That's what this is all about as well. Is kind of being kind to ourselves at this time. And yeah, we've got a lot of time left in the year, to get things done. So yeah, if you're feeling like, oh, I don't have anything to bin, I don't either, but that's okay. We will come back to our list at some point and get it done. Things we don't get done, fine. I always think that sometimes when I'm doing like my weekly planner or something, and if there's things where I'm like, oh, I didn't do that last week, and I'm like, well, nothing bad happened that I didn't do that. So yeah, I reminded a client of that actually this week, that sometimes we don't get stuff done, and that's absolutely okay. So I hope you're feeling better for kind of getting everything out. It certainly really does help me. And here's just a thought really around kind of what works for you. Like sometimes I think we need to be reminded that we actually have some tools that do work for us, and we can get out of not doing it. So things like having a notebook by your bed, that really works for me. Just having something that, I don't know why, but as soon as I lay down, all these thoughts come to me. Sometimes they're really great thoughts that I'm like, oh yeah, I should do that. And I have a notebook by my bed at all times. Some people love a good post-it. I think sometimes it can get a bit post-it heavy. They can all fall down. Notes on your phone, this is a big one for me. Yeah, if anyone saw my notes on my phone, they'd be like, wow, this lady's got a busy brain. I love a to-do list as well. Talking it out, voice notes and messages, either messages to yourself, or sometimes I message someone of just like, please remind me to do this. And this slide here is all obvious stuff that you will all know about, but it is just reminding yourself that you have tools that you've probably used before. And sometimes life's busy, you can get out of habits. So that's just really a little reminder of the things that can be readily, easily available to us all. So I've got some tips here. Again, things that you will already know, but again, it's just reminding ourselves of those things. Life is busy and we don't always look after ourselves. So mindfulness and focusing your attention on the present moment, that's all it's about. I think we can view mindfulness sometimes as something that's quite, like unattainable, and actually it's just about taking a moment, not having a moment. That's a very different use of language, isn't it? And just focusing your attention on the present moment. You might turn to gratitude in that moment. One of my yoga teachers once said to me, there's great power in a deep breath, and that has really stayed with me over the years. That sometimes I do just need to take a long deep breath in and out, and it's about allowing those thoughts to come and go without judgment. We go through a whole roller coaster of emotions, sometimes in a day, sometimes in an hour. It's just about allowing them to come is fine, and then just letting them go without judgment. Journaling is a big thing for some people. Writing down your thoughts, your worries, your to-do lists in a journal. You can always rip the pages out if you need to. It just really helps kind of offload your mind and organize your thoughts, just freeing up that mental space. Yes, Claire, I love it as well. It's stayed with me for a very long time. She said it years ago. Yeah, it stuck with me. And movement as well. And I did a post about that this week, that I think we can get hung up on, exercise being this kind of big thing in our minds, and we've got to get all hot and sweaty for it to count. And you might have had some experiences like myself with kind of PE at school and just really hating that. But it's just about movement in whatever way feels good for you. If it is going to the gym and fully sweating it out, go for it. But going for a walk, practicing yoga, whatever it might be. And even if you're just super, super busy, and if you can just do something for 5 minutes, you'll still get those endorphins. It'll help reduce your stress. And it really does help you feel more clear-headed. I know, again, this is all like what feels like obvious stuff, but we cannot do it. I think working from home, especially, we can just be kind of go, 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 like staying in that work mode. And actually, when I force myself out for a walk, even if it's just a quick 10 minutes around the block, I do feel so much better. But it's just about making the time to do that. Limiting your distractions. So, I mean, we hear this all the time about not being on our phones, but there we are, like, glued to them, aren't we? We don't want to be, but yeah, it's just kind of become the way of the world. But I also think that counts for your environment as well. Like, I find it really hard to relax if I don't know, the pots need doing, or if there's a lot of stuff around me. And sometimes just setting a timer for 5 minutes to just give something a quick blitz, or put the dishwasher on, or whatever you feel like you need to do to just clear your mind. When you give yourself that time to do that, like I say, whether it's 5 minute, 10-minute timer, whatever it might be, it's actually, those things don't actually take that much time. But again, we just let it happen, and then we feel ourselves being like, oh, I'm so annoyed that those pots are there, or I'm so annoyed that I haven't tidied up. But actually, if you just did it, because it takes like 5 minutes, limit those distractions, and then hopefully you can get into a more relaxed state. And deep breathing. So yeah, great power in a deep breath. And again, something that is just really simple, but just focusing your mind on that breath can just redirect your attention. And when you kind of feel like, if your thoughts are coming back, just really try to focus on that breath. Yeah, because there's great power in a deep breath. And I think, yeah, we do definitely forget that. I've got some journal prompts to try here. So this is the last slide. And what I'm going to do is send out the slides after as well, so you can have a go. We'll see what we get through kind of in the time. The first one is really short, so I'm sure that we can get to the last one, because we've already done the brain dump. We've already done number 2, but this is here as a reminder for you. So we're going to just take a quick gratitude reflection. So I want you to just think about 3 things today that you're grateful for, because really reflecting on those positives in our life can help shift that focus away from anything that's bringing the stress, and it just brings a sense of clarity and appreciation. Yeah, if you follow me on Instagram, you know I love a bit of gratitude, and it's genuinely changed my life. I could talk about it forever. Yeah, and that is something that I've put it down as a journal prompt, but you can turn to gratitude at any time within a day, and that's really what I love about it, that sometimes it's just taking a moment to focus on things that you are grateful for. So yeah, let's just think about 3 things we're grateful for today. Oh, my music hasn't come on. Sorry, I don't know why it's giving me the whirring. But hopefully you've got those 3 things. And like I say, yeah, gratitude is really important to me. It's something that I practice every day because it does really just help with bringing you into that present moment and thinking about, you know, actually what have I got in my life, instead of thinking about the things that we don't have, which, you know, our brains are unfortunately quite wired to go to the negative. So it's nice to think about those positive things. And Claire and Sarah, as you're live, if you're feeling brave, you can pop your things that you're grateful for in the chat, but don't feel like you have to. So we've done the brain dump. We've done the second one already. In this example, I've just said to set a timer for 10 minutes and just freely write without censoring or editing, and just let everything flow out onto the page. Yeah, I find that really cathartic to do that, whether it's your worries, your to-do list, just your random musings. It's really great to just get that out. I feel like Claire is writing her things on her to-do list. Not to-do list, gratitude list. Yeah, I can see you typing, so I'll wait for that to come through. But I'll just talk you through the future visualization. That's hard to say at night. So this is one that you can do in your own time, I think, because we're actually coming towards the end, because I didn't know. This is the thing when you use a new software, that it's actually just 40 minutes on the version that I've got. But I will talk you through it, and then I'll come to Claire's message. So this is one to take away to do at some point. But imagine yourself 1 year from now. So what does your ideal life look like? What goals have you achieved, and how do you feel? Write a detailed description of this future scenario, focusing on how it makes you feel. This exercise can help clarify your priorities and motivate you to take steps forward towards your desired future. So I've done this a few times, and it is really powerful. I find visualization really, I keep saying powerful, don't I? But I can't think of any other word. But yeah, just yeah, it's got some real like oomph to it. And in doing that, in visualizing that for yourself, it's like anything that you're working through in your daily life, I find it really great to have that as something almost in your back pocket. It's not like you've got to think about it every day, but it's just good to kind of think, am I actually kind of working towards that that goal, that life that I want to live, that I've visualized, that, you know, brought me a lot of joy when I wrote it. So yeah, that's another one to kind of to really give you a focus, I suppose, is another way to put it. So Claire in the chat, what you're grateful for: my husband, specifically his cooking, dinner tonight, my brother giving me a call after work just to chat, and the relationships I have with my family, and our home having a safe space to call our own. Yeah, that's really lovely. And I love hearing other people's gratitude lists as well, because yeah, we'll all have a different one, and that's again something that I love about it, really, that we're all grateful for different things, and it just gives you all those like nice feels. It gets me all in the feels. So yeah, that is needed that reminder to practice gratitude. Yeah, after a long day. Yeah, that's how I'm feeling this week, actually, that I've had a lot on this week. No, thank you, Claire. Thank you for your kind words. So yeah, we're at the end. I'm sorry, I do feel like a little bit rushed because of the timer. It's telling me that I've got a minute left. So apologies if it has felt a little bit rushed. That was a bit of a surprise, but like I say, this is what you get when you try new software. But thank you to Claire and Sarah for joining live. Thank you for watching the replay if you are. And if you have any questions or reflections, you know where to find me on Instagram. Drop me a message on my website or email me. Yeah, contact details are on the screen there. You know where to find me. But I hope you have a lovely evening, both Sarah and Claire, and a great rest of your day. If you're watching on the replay, thank you again for supporting little old me. Yeah, enjoy the rest of your evening, guys. Take care. Bye.